All right, you guys, the moment you've been waiting for, the video you've been waiting for, my review on the resort I stayed at in Cabo. So many of you know I take an annual trip for my birthday, and this year I picked Cabo because we've never been there before. So when I look for a resort, I always look for three things. One is that it's adult only, two, it's all inclusive, and three, I do want that room that has a private swimming pool. I had it about 3 years ago and I got a little hooked on it, so it's really hard to go back to a standard room. I know, a little bougie, but that's okay. So, Sandals is the resort that I stayed at, and it is considered to be in the quieter, rich area according to the locals. And I do see that, I get that, because when I pulled up to the resort, it was gorgeous. And it was a little bit more newer than some of the other ones that would be on the other side of Cabo. They had an open air lobby. They had people that met us at the doors with like cold towels and drinks. Of course, they took our luggage, they brought it up to our room, all that fun, great stuff. And it was just a gorgeous, gorgeous resort. I will also say that the food was probably the best all-inclusive food I've ever had. I've been to a fair amount of all-inclusives, and it is by far the best all-inclusive food I've ever had. They do have a very limited selection, though, of restaurants. They would have a Mexican place, a hibachi grill. Of course, they have a seafood place. And then they had like the main dining area where it was buffet, where, you have your standard lunch or breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But even that was pretty good. The one thing I would say, so the rooms were great. My pool area was fabulous. It was a lot wider and bigger than what I've had in the past. There was room for all of us to sit, but it was kind of far away from like the bar area or any restaurants. So if we wanted anything like water or soda, or of course anything alcoholic to drink, we would have to get out and walk all the way to the bar to get it. So I would love to have an all-inclusive where they do have some wait staff or something that will come to those areas as well, but I'll still take the room over that. The one thing I will say is that the room service, it was great, but I just find this trend with all-inclusives that it takes almost an hour to get it. And they also would not let you get any alcohol with any of your orders. Everything was just food, which was very limited on the room service menu. And then it was just water and soda. So that was a little bit, because if I wanted to have maybe a bottle of champagne for mimosas in the morning, and just know there was four of us, they couldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. The one thing that was cute though is that in the rooms they had this little box that connected to the hallway. So if you ordered room service, they would put it in that little box, and then you'd open up the other side of it in your room. So they would never disturb you. They would then call you and say, hey, we left you, food in your secret spot, or whatever it was. Would I go back there again? Maybe, but the one thing that was really disappointing was the entertainment. So they didn't have a lot of good night stuff. It would maybe be two or three singers in one of the bars, and they would play till like 10 o'clock at night, and then everything would get pushed to what they considered their nightclub, and it was just one bar, and the music was like, I am back at a wedding, and it's all the typical wedding songs that you hear. So that was a little bit disappointing, and it could be because of that I might not go back. I really do, when I go on these trips, I want to have a lot of fun, especially in the evening. And sometimes it just pays to stay on the resort because you're having so much fun. But yeah, they didn't really supply a lot of entertainment at night. We did book an excursion through the resort, and we took a sunset cruise, which included some drinks and food. So we took a shuttle from our location to where that was, which was on the other side. It was about 45 minutes. We got to tour around that side of Cabo. We stopped in some stores. We went to Senior Frogs. Mama Carol had a lot of fun there. And then we went on the cruise. The cruise was a lot of fun. We got to see the arches. We had good food. And then, of course, we saw the sunset. So that was gorgeous. But other than that, It's a great resort if you want to go on a honeymoon because it is extremely quiet. But one thing that drives me crazy about these adults only resorts is that, they're not just for people there with their significant others. Like, I don't have kids, so I really don't want to have a vacation with kids. But they don't take that in consideration. It could be a group of friends going on vacation, but they never give you rooms just for like more than two people. If I could have had a bigger suite where all four of us could have stayed, that would have been perfect. So we all had to get separate rooms. And so I've noticed that with all adults only, they literally cater only to if you are there with a significant other. So that's a little disappointing. But I hope this review helps you guys. If you're looking for a place to stay in Cabo, like I mentioned, I did have several people ask me how it was. It was great, but it needed more entertainment. And what's also getting really bad is all these resorts, you literally have to get up at like 5 in the morning to claim a chair by the main pool. I wish they also included a special pricing or special package where you'd pay someone to get a room, or excuse me, get a chair for you so you didn't have to worry about that. On the flip side, they do offer cabanas, and last year in Cancun, it was only, or a few years ago in Cancun, it was only $50 for the entire day. At this resort, it was $75 for the entire day, but it only included water and service. But still, it was pretty decent considering there's 4 of us. So I hope this helps, and yeah, we'll talk again soon. Bye.